Does space tourism shape the future of space travel? Would anyone try an Airheads chicken sandwich? And where does Black Widow and Loki rank on my Marvel favorites list? Well, I talk about all that and more on this episode of the Toddcast. Hello everyone, and welcome to the Toddcast. As always, I'm your host, Todd McManus, back for another week of great news, and that's about it. And anything interesting, really, about the entertainment world of movies and shows. Now, we're going to go ahead and dive into some news here, because I talked about this 2 weeks ago, about Virgin Galactic and Blue Origin. Virgin Galactic being the space company owned by Richard Branson. Yes, owned by Richard Branson. And, of course, he owns like the Virgin Cruise Lines, the Virgin Airlines, and now he's Virgin Space Line. I guess, well, it's called Virgin Galactic, but that's basically what it is a space line, I guess. And with all that, he's competing against the man himself, Jeff Bezos, who owns Blue Origin. Of course, Jeff Bezos, the richest man in the world, and the owner and CEO of Amazon, now has Blue Origin, which is a space company that he wants to do basically the same thing that they're both doing. It's just that they're trying to make it more. Both Jeff Bezos and Richard Branson wants to go farther out into space. You know, that way we'll be able to see with our own eyes what actually is out there, and you can pay money to do that, which right now they'll tell you, I think it's like $250,000 a ticket to go to the edge of space, which is a few miles outside of Earth's atmosphere. So you're still being pulled, like, with the gravity and all that, but you're actually able to see the curvature of the Earth and being able to see, like, wow, that's space. Like, I'm technically in space right now. So I know a lot of famous people, actors and such, have done it already because of, or they haven't done it already. They'll do it whenever they start doing the launches, because of, like, there's another round of COVID coming around apparently. So with all that, they're gonna have to put it like on a halt probably. So we'll see what happens. So I'm not going to do it. not with it being $250,000 anyway. It's not worth it for me right now, because I don't have $250,000. I would have to sell a crap load of stuff or win the lottery to be able to go to space for $250,000. Are you kidding me? Like, I could probably just, like, interview Branson or Jeff Bezos here on the cast and be able to say, hey, and interview them and all that kind of stuff, and then they'll probably be like, hey, you want to go to space? And I'll be like, sure. and that way I'll be able to say the Toddcast could quite possibly be the first ever podcast made in space. Like, that would be a huge accomplishment. And yeah, like, I'm just imagining it in my head right now. Like, wow, like being the first ever space podcast would be pretty awesome in my opinion. So suck it, Joe Rogan. Anyways, so like I said at the first question at the top of the episode, yes, Airheads. Now, we all know Airheads is candy. I don't even know what Airheads is actually made out of. There's some type of, like, candy or something to where you're able to you're able to eat it, but it's like some type of, like, I'm thinking, I don't even know what it could be. Is it like taffy or something? What actually is Airheads when you think about it? What actually is an Airhead? Like, I'm gonna quickly look up Airhead. Okay, it brought up the extremes, which is those strips of Airheads you usually come in a bag, that are like sour and they're rainbow colored. Those are pretty good. I do like them. It's taffy. Airheads are taffy. Okay, I just wanted to make sure that's like what it actually was. So with that being said, a couple of years ago, and actually, well, not like a couple, it was like 2 or 3, it was like 2 years ago, it was in 2019, whenever the chicken sandwich wars officially started with Popeyes making the ultimate chicken sandwich, which I say it's ultimate, but it was just a normal chicken sandwich, brioche bun, with their fried chicken breast, of course, and mayonnaise and pickles, I think is what it was. And with that, it took the world by storm. Like, being able to mass produce a chicken sandwich like that and being lined around the block. That, I mean, we've all saw it whenever, and then Popeyes is like still like got a long line just to get a sandwich or anything from Popeyes nowadays. And also, they have chicken nuggets at Popeyes now, which is basically the same chicken, but it's just in nugget form. I haven't tried it yet. I was at Popeyes a couple days ago whenever I saw it, but I was too busy. I had my mind fixed on getting me some tenders, and I didn't want me no nugs yet. So yeah, if you want some nuggets, Popeyes has chicken nuggets now. Popeyes making their sandwiches like so awesome, apparently, that it's so weird that everybody else, like literally any other restaurant, fast food, of course, wants to capitalize on that chicken sandwich glory that Popeyes had. Like, McDonald's had one. I tried it. It was pretty good. It was all right. I mean, it's a McDonald's chicken sandwich. It was pretty good for what it was, though. I had the donut one. Because KFC, poor KFC. Like, I'm all right. Like, I used to like KFC. I don't really like it anymore now as an adult. But, like, I understand why people like KFC. Because it's good chicken. And I enjoyed their mashed potatoes, of course. And with all of that said, is that, like, they had chicken and waffles, which was, the waffles were the bread. And you could have it as a chicken sandwich. And then they have donut ones, which was a chicken breast in between 2 donuts. And talk about diabetes. Like, I tried it. I did try the donut one. I didn't try the chicken and waffle one, but the donut one was just too much. And the flavors didn't really go together for me, because it was like, all I'm tasting is donut glaze and then those 7 herbs and spices on that chicken. And it just tasted straight up weird to me. But, so apparently, with all that happening, and then Burger King made one, and which probably wasn't good anyway. Actually, I know it wasn't good. And with all that said, so there's a new contender to the chicken wars. The new contender to the chicken wars is, of course, Airheads. Yes, the candy. The candy that is Airheads wants to get in on the chicken wars for some reason. And I don't know why. Like, it's a chicken sandwich. Like, only restaurants should make it. Which Airheads chicken sandwich can't even be sold. Airheads does not have a store. Like, I've never seen an Airheads only building. You know what I'm saying? And with that, it's like they want to get in on it, but their chicken sandwich, what it is, hear me out, is instead of bread, it's Airheads. And that doesn't even sound good to me, which, I mean, I would try it. It might be good. You never know. But Airheads are always like, when you bite an Airhead, it's like ripping a piece of rubber with your teeth. Like most of them were. All the ones that I've ever had. Because it's like, you bite into it and you go, ah! You got to get it out. Or break it when you bite it in half, And it's like, what in the world? So it's like, I mean, I would try it. I feel like you just got to make it yourself, unless Airheads has like a food truck or something. But I hardly doubt they're coming to northern Louisiana with an Airheads food truck, because I don't ever see food trucks in Louisiana. Like, I've never seen a food truck before, I don't think, in our state. Unless there's one in, like, Baton Rouge or New Orleans. Maybe one in Alexandria or something, but I've never seen one up here in my area anyway. I've seen an ice cream truck before. I've actually bought ice cream from an ice cream truck before up here, but nothing like a food truck or nothing. But speaking of different weird foods, apparently something else happened. I got a picture of it too. Apparently, Van Leeuwen, which is apparently a French ice cream company, but it's established in Brooklyn. So it's in Brooklyn, New York. But I thought it was German because of Van Leeuwen. I thought that was German at first. But with that being said, they're an ice cream company that, of course, puts their ice cream in, like, buckets and all that. Like Bluebell, all that kind of stuff. Just like a typical ice cream company, Apparently, they have partnered with Kraft. And get this. A new flavor of ice cream produced by Van Leeuwen is Kraft mac and cheese ice cream. What? Like, why of all things Kraft mac and cheese? Like, now I ain't one. I'll eat some mac and cheese now. Like, I've had my fair share of mac and cheese throughout my life. Especially as a kid, that's like one of the, they advertise mac and cheese for kids, but it's just not a kid's only meal. It's just noodles that are boiled to be soft and then with cheese, and then you can put whatever else in there. Like, Chick-fil-A has their mac and cheese, and it's like got the burnt top on the bits, and then you can put like some bacon in there. I've seen people put some Chick-fil-A nugs up in their mac and cheese, and it's like, whoa. But the idea of putting macaroni and cheese in ice cream, which the picture makes it look a lot better. It just looks like normal ice cream. It just looks like very yellow ice cream. Like, it looks like somebody peed on my ice cream. But don't eat the yellow snow, that kind of thing, But this is like very hard vanilla ice cream. That's the way it looks because it's so yellow. And then, of course, they have like a little macaroni on the pint that they have. It's limited edition. I don't know where this is sold. I've never seen this brand. It's Van, which is VAN. And then it's LEEUWEN ice cream. Van, and I pronounce it Van Leeuwen. I might be pronouncing it wrong. I'm probably definitely pronouncing that wrong. But, yeah, if you want to try, like, I knew they had bacon ice cream. Sour Patch has Sour Patch Kids ice cream, which I would like to try that. I got to find that wherever that is, and I'll review it here. But I would try it if it's offered to me, if I see it, I'll be like, man, this is a good thing to try and review, you know what I'm saying? But I'm not going to seek out and be like, oh, man, look, Mom, it's Kraft macaroni and cheese ice cream. Like, I'm not going to do that. Like, why would I? Like, I don't know. Maybe it's just another combination that might actually be good that you don't know would be. But, like, with the Airheads chicken sandwich, like, it might be good, And then when all of you that are listening, think of this. Which one would you rather try? Would you rather try Kraft mac and cheese ice cream or an Airheads chicken sandwich? Honestly, in my opinion, I would do the Airheads chicken sandwich if I can build it. That way I can choose which flavor of Airheads that I put with it. And then that's a whole nother question is, what's the best flavor of Airheads that actually make it good to go with a piece of chicken? You never know these types of things. So, Kraft mac and cheese ice cream, if you want to try it, it's by Van Leeuwen. I'm definitely pronouncing it wrong. Just look up Kraft mac and cheese limited edition ice cream. Like, that's a lot. You can just probably look up mac and cheese ice cream if you want. It'll probably come up. Or new mac and cheese ice cream. But with all of that being said, we're going to go ahead and get into some entertainment news right here with you. that we're going to go ahead and start with Warner Brothers, everyone's beloved movie company, Warner Brothers. So, of course, we all know Warner Brothers this past entire year since since like the end of December of last year, because of COVID, they started putting their movies that they were releasing in theaters. They were releasing them on HBO Max. And like the same day. Like they was releasing, they did this with I think they did it with Wonder Woman night. They definitely did it with Wonder Woman. I don't know if it was put in theaters or not. Wonder Woman 1984, I think, was put in theaters in December, and then what they do is that they release the movie the same day on HBO Max, but on HBO Max you only have 30 days from the day it's released, 30 days later, 1 month later, and then it goes only in theaters, and then it'll stay there until it comes to like DVD, and then back on HBO Max. So, but what they're going to be doing, they're stopping that at the end of the year because I think they're losing too much money. Because they did that recently with Space Jam, the newest one with LeBron James. I haven't watched it. It's probably already been 30 days since it's come out. Definitely, because no one's talking about it. So you always know when it's been a little while since a movie's come out because nobody else is posting about it. But they're stopping that the end of this year, I think, is what they're going to do. Because they've already announced what they're going to do, that if COVID keeps going, most likely through the end of this year, beginning of 2022, being next year, they're going to release movies only for 45 days in theaters. Meaning, from the day it starts, when it premieres in theaters, you have 45 days to watch it in theaters, and then it'll either go to HBO. What it usually does is that it goes to DVD and stays there for a while, and then it'll go on to a streaming service. So it'll go to HBO Max, of course, after 45 days or so, around there. And with that as well, they also announced that HBO Max will be doing 10 box office style, as in a big movie that you would put in theaters. They're going to do 10 exclusive movies next year, starting, I think, every year from now on, is what they've said already, is that they want to do 10 big movies that are exclusively on HBO Max. So they said that they'll start doing that next year, is that we could see like a DC movie like Aquaman 2, or the next Wonder Woman, or the next Shazam or something, which I think they'll put the DC movies in theaters, that way they can make more money. But they're able to work with that more now that they have HBO Max in full effect, that they're going to start putting 10 exclusive movies only on HBO Max, like not even to theaters. Like it premieres on Max and then that's it. It's there now. So I like that idea. I think that's a good idea because they're trying to compete, one, in theaters with all the other movie production companies, and also compete against Disney Plus, and the main one is Netflix. So I think it's a good idea on their part. And with all that said, also about HBO Max, releasing today, as actually the day this recording is happening, which is Thursday, August the 5th at 5 p.m. Central Time, The Suicide Squad released in theaters and on the 30-day HBO Max deal as well. So if you have HBO Max, I think you should probably stay at home and watch it, in my opinion. That's my opinion. That's what I'm going to do. And yeah, that's what I plan on doing, is watching it at home. I'll probably watch it actually after I do finish recording this. I'm going to watch it because it's actually 3:30 in the evening right now when I'm doing this, and it premieres in like an hour and a half. So I'll be watching The Suicide Squad. I'll tell y'all more about that in probably another 2 weeks, maybe, depending on how it does. Apparently it's really good. Like, a lot of people said that this movie is the best DC movie other than the Snyder Cut that came out this year. And they said it could quite possibly be the best DC movie since The Dark Knight. And that movie was a long time ago. That movie was That was over 10 years ago, I think. That was like 2008 or 9. Because Heath Ledger... There was the one with Heath Ledger as the Joker, was The Dark Knight. Because The Dark Knight Rises was the one that came after, and that had Bane. With Tom Hardy as Bane, And now he's Venom, so that's cool. He plays all these characters. So, the Suicide Squad releases this week. For all of you listening, it's already released. And I think it'll be good. I'm just thinking about it. I was thinking about watching it. But yeah, I'll watch it today. And I'll review it in another 2 or 4 weeks probably. And I'll see. I just went blank, honestly. But I think it's going to be good. For those of you that are already listening to this, it's already available. It's already in theaters. So go see it in theaters if you want. Or if you have HBO Max, I would watch it on HBO Max. Because if you're already paying for Max, which is like $15 a month, why would you want to go to theaters unless it's like a Marvel movie? Which Disney Plus and their Premier Access is all bull crap anyway, just because Disney is begging for my money. And which I love Disney. If they want to cast me anything, I'm right here. Give me a call, please. But with Warner, they're trying to combat that. They're like, we're already taking your money. We might as well just put this thing out there. Well, they're just doing that because of COVID, honestly. So, with all that being said, we're going to go ahead and jump over to the Disney side of things. Now, a little bit more of news instead of telling y'all about a new show or something, is that there was some big news that came out with Black Widow surrounding that movie. Now, that movie was really good, and keep listening to this episode. Towards the end of this episode, I will be giving my official review of both the Black Widow movie and the Loki series, and what I thought about the movie, some of my favorite parts of the movie, and I'm also going to talk about where it could lead into other future projects in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So, tune in for that. But surrounding the Black Widow controversy, or what the controversy is that, of course it was a great movie, like I just said, but what happened was that apparently whenever, like, actors perform in these big-time movies, like a Disney Marvel movie, of course, they sign a contract. Some of them do. Most of them do, I feel like. Is that what you do is that based off how good the movie does in the box office and theaters, the actors, like Scarlett Johansson being the main actor, or actress, because this movie is like about her, because she is Black Widow, and she signed the contract that was about how good the box office hit Black Widow was, that some of that money would go to her. Like, she would get a percentage or a certain amount of the first big box office hit that it takes, of the millions of dollars that it makes on the weekends and during the weeks and all that. Well, apparently, she signed that contract before Disney Plus said they were going to put it on Disney Plus for the $30 payment. And, of course, I actually watched it at home. I did not go to theaters because I was sick the weekend it came out. So we were like, we'll just get it on theaters. That way I'll watch it. My dad watched it. And we both thought it was pretty good. I thought it was better than it was going to be. It was a lot better. Well, what I just said was, it was a lot better than I thought it was going to be. Because I didn't know how it was going to do, what it was going to be about. But with the controversy is that Scarlett Johansson is currently suing Disney because she thinks, what's the actual suit? I gotta look this up because to me it doesn't make any sense. Yeah, somebody did say that. That whenever you act in a movie, you get paid once you finish acting. Like before the movie comes out, but once filming is done. You get paid, but then sometimes you get the contract of that you get paid a certain amount from how good the movie performs in the box office. Well, apparently, Scarlett Johansson was already paid $20 million for the Black Widow movie, for performing in this movie. And now she's suing them because she only gets a portion of the money that comes from the theaters. She doesn't touch any of the money. All of the movie that goes, the $30 amount that comes from one person that goes to Disney Plus for them to stream at home, the only ones that get that is Disney and Marvel. Like, that's the only people that get that money. But she only gets the money that comes from the box office. And Black Widow did really well combined with both of them. It did do better in the box office than it did on Disney Plus, of course. But it made millions of dollars in both aspects of that. Let's see here. If I can find where it actually says. She claimed that by releasing her new film Black Widow in both theaters and on Disney Plus through the streaming service's Premier Access, she lost out as much as $50 million in box office profit sharing payments. Disney said that this lawsuit is especially sad and distressing. There's no merit to it. Basically, is that she'll still get money from the box office, but she's not getting as much as she thought, so she sued them. Like, I don't think her suing Disney is right and what she should do. She already signed a contract that they were going to pay her a percentage amount, a profit share amount, which is what it says, from the box office. Now, it was in theaters, and they made like $80 to $100 million in theaters. And she's going to get some of that. Now, it's not as much as she thought, so she's like, you know what, Disney? F you, I want more money. Like, that's what it is. That's honestly what this is about. Because I don't understand, but that's just there's definitely more to this story that I just don't know. And yeah, I'm not really entirely sure. I'm trying to read some of this, but I just don't understand it. There's a lot of words on the page that I'm currently reading. Is that she thinks that, I guess it should have been only in theaters, but Disney had to put it on Disney Plus for the $30 amount for Premier Access because of COVID. And with that, she does not get a percentage of the Disney Plus payment. She only gets the box office payment. Therefore, I think the first weekend, $80 million was made in the box office, while $60 million was made on Disney Plus. The $60 million only goes to Disney and Marvel, of course, and the $80 million will go to Disney, and a little bit of that will go to her. I don't know how much she would get, because she was expecting to get apparently $50 million if this did like 200 or more million in the first week. But that's why she's suing them, apparently. She thinks that she's not, which also, I don't know. I'm just confused. Like, I think that she got money. She got paid. She got paid $20 million. And she's going to sue Disney for thinking that she didn't get enough money? Are you kidding me? If Disney wanted to give me $20 million and then their money, and then the movie made a freaking $1 billion, if it's my first movie, of course, and if it's a movie, which in her standpoint, if it's a movie based on her character that's deserved a movie for at least 10 years at this point, how can she be like, we're finally getting a movie after 10 years of my character being in Marvel, even though my character died in Avengers Endgame, I'm getting a movie that is technically a prequel that takes place in between Civil War and Infinity War, but I'm going to whine and complain that I didn't get enough money paid by Disney. Now, don't get me wrong. Disney is, we all know Disney. Disney is one of those companies that's like, we own you. It's one of those companies, you know. Like, a lot of people don't like Disney. I like the Marvel and Star Wars stuff that they're doing right now. But, I don't know. It's confusing to me, and I'm probably not the only one that's confused by this. I mean, some of y'all listening, if this is the first time you've listened to it, you're probably confused as much as I am. But that's just what I've been able to see from the story, because I saw it on Instagram and Facebook and all that. So, yeah. So, that's about it. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't think you can beat Disney in court. I mean, it's Disney. You honestly think that Disney's not going to get the best lawyers? You don't think they have that? It's freaking Disney we're talking about here. So anyway, I hope she's getting the money. Like I said, she's already got millions of dollars. And it's not like she's not going to be in any other movie. Like, this isn't her last movie ever. She was in that movie with Adam Driver about her and him divorcing each other. That was on, like, Netflix, you know, which was, like, Adam Driver won an award for, like, Best Actor in that movie. So it's not like she's not in good movies other than Marvel. But, and now with the multiverse and all that, she can come back. But I'll talk more about that when I talk about Loki, So, with all that being said, we're going to talk a little bit more about Disney. But we're actually going to talk about the entertainment parts of Disney. The Bad Batch. To jump on Star Wars a little bit. Star Wars new series that is basically like the Clone Wars. The Bad Batch. Season 2 was confirmed yesterday. Was it yesterday? No, it was today. Earlier today when I looked at it on Thursday. It was confirmed that Season 2 of The Bad Batch will premiere next year in 2022. I am excited for it. I like The Bad Batch. It is just like Clone Wars, so it's entertaining to me. And with that, there's only 2 episodes left. Like, this week's episode is 15, next week is 16, and that's the season finale. And apparently they say these 2 episodes is going to be like a part 1 and a part 2 season finale. So, I'm excited for it. I like it. I mean, it's anything Star Wars I like, you know. So, with all that, you know, I'm very excited for the Bad Batch season finale. I'll probably talk about the season as a whole in 2 weeks or so. Probably in 2 weeks, honestly, in the next one. But yeah, season 2 was confirmed, and there'll be more news that come about that probably towards the end of this year, beginning of next year, whenever we find out what is the actual premiere date of the next season of the Bad Batch. So now jumping over to Marvel's side of Disney on Disney Plus series, the What If series premieres next week on Wednesday, August the 11th, and this season will comprise of 9 episodes. So for 9 weeks, starting next week, it will be 9 episodes, and apparently each episode is about 30 minutes long, which is really good because it just takes a certain scenario in the Marvel universe, in the MCU, that you change a situation with a different character or something, or make them say, or it's like, basically if you just say a yes or no question and you said yes, and then they change it and make you say no, it could change the entirety of the world. Like, think of back in your past and think of like big questions that you were asked that required a yes or no answer, and think of the answer you gave them. Like, if you said yes, well, what if you would have said no? How would your life be different now? You know, like if you were going to go on a vacation or something, and you said yes, and you went, and you broke your leg or something. Imagine if you said no, and then you didn't break your leg, but you didn't go on that vacation. You know, this isn't happened to me. It's definitely happened to some people, but it's that I've never broken a bone, so it's not happened to me. So with that being said, What If premieres next week on August 11th, and will be 9 episodes. And it was also confirmed that next year, season 2 of the What If show will be premiering next year, and will also be comprised of 9 episodes. So we already have confirmation of 2 seasons. and a total of 18 episodes in the What If series. The first episode, I think, is actually Captain Carter, which is Peggy, which was Steve Rogers, Captain America's wife. Was it his? I mean, it ended up being his wife, but I mean, they were kind of like boyfriend, girlfriend in the movie, in the first Captain America movie. The what if for her is basically that what if she took the super soldier serum instead of Steve, and then he ends up getting like this Iron Man World War II suit, and then she, instead of being Captain America, she's Captain Carter. So, I think that's the first episode that comes out this next week. So, once that all ends around like the beginning of October is when it's going to end. Of course, I'll review it and probably pick my favorite one, because each episode's different. But they also confirmed that Captain Carter is going to show up in the second season as well. Like, she's going to be that character that stays along with it. And I'll talk more about What If here in a minute when I review Loki and Black Widow. But yeah, so make sure you check out, if you're listening to this before Wednesday the 11th, make sure you set a reminder or something. Wednesday, August the 11th, the premiere of What If on Disney+. Also, speaking about Marvel, September the 3rd is when the next Marvel movie premieres, that being Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. That will be premiering in theaters and on... Are they doing the Disney Plus thing? As of right now, they haven't said. Because I don't know if they know how much COVID is going to affect or not. With like the Delta and the Delta Plus and all that. If there is a Delta Plus, that might have been just a fake news story. But with like the Delta variant, and the Alpha, and the Omega, and the Bravo, and the Charlie, and I'm just listing off different stuff at this point. But yeah, Shang-Chi is the next Marvel movie to premiere, and will be premiering on September the 3rd in theaters. Only in theaters, apparently. As of right now, it is not on the Disney Plus premiere access. But if it is, I'll let you know. And it was announced last week, I think, that the next Disney Plus series that premieres after What If goes off on November the 24th, which is a Wednesday, because Marvel shows are on Wednesdays now. Hawkeye will be premiering on Disney Plus on November the 24th. I think it's going to be, I want to say 6 or 8 episodes maybe, because Miss Marvel premieres in December. They said... As of right now, they still plan on the Miss Marvel show, which is the show that's going to be premiering after Hawkeye, is going to premiere still this year. So it's either it's going to premiere like on a different day, or Hawkeye is going to be short. You know, Hawkeye might be end up being like 4 episodes, and each of them's an hour long. Like, that'd be fine with me, you know. So, because there's not many Wednesdays after November 24th. I mean, November 24th is the week of Thanksgiving. And if that's episode 1, you only have like 4 weeks with December. And then you're already in January, you know. So, but after What If, their 9 episodes ends in October. We'll get Hawkeye on November 24th. And like I said, the next Marvel movie, Shang-Chi, is September the 3rd. And the other movies that have already been announced, of course, like Eternals is November 5th, and Spider-Man is December 17th. And we already know the days for the movies, and apparently that's the only series left. That Miss Marvel will be announced soon, and we'll probably get a trailer. We haven't got a trailer for Hawkeye yet, but they told us the day that it'd be premiering. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see that show. I mean, it's just Hawkeye series, you know. Like, Black Widow got a movie, Hawkeye gets a show. So, we'll see how that goes in the future as well. So, with all that being said, I'm going to go ahead and give you a spoiler warning. That I'm about to talk about spoilers and a lot of stuff that happened both in the Black Widow movie and in the Loki series. So if you have not finished the Loki series, or you haven't even watched Black Widow, I'm going to be talking about Black Widow first, because I got a lot more to talk about with Loki. So I'm going to talk about Black Widow first, and then talk about Loki. So if you speed up, so if you want to keep listening to this episode, but you just don't want to listen to the spoilers, you can just pause right now, go watch Black Widow, or finish the Loki series. If you don't care, you can keep listening, of course. But if you do not want to hear spoilers, pause this episode now, and come back and watch, or you can speed it up about like 15 to 20 minutes. So this is your spoiler warning right now. I'm about to talk about Black Widow and Loki. Spoiler warning ahead. So, Black Widow. Let's go ahead and talk about it. That all of you that are still listening about Black Widow. So, yes, I did watch Black Widow at home on Disney Plus. It was a lot better than I thought it was going to be, honestly. I mean, I didn't know how it was going to be. They compared it that it was like Mission Impossible-esque type movie, and it gave me a lot of Captain America movie vibes because of the way it was and the way it was built, basically, you know. And so, with all that, you know, it did give me Mission Impossible vibes. I got some stuff written down about it, that way I remember. Mission Impossible vibes were, yeah, they were right when they talked about it. It was kind of like Mission Impossible. Red Guardian, Black Widow's father, and he was also basically the Russian version of Captain America. He kept talking about him fighting Captain America, but he couldn't have fought Steve Rogers because Steve Rogers was still on ice. So what's Red Guardian talking about is the thing. I thought he could have been fighting Isaiah Cassidy, which is the Captain America that we found out that took the place of Cap in Vietnam, who he showed up in the Falcon and Winter Soldier and talked to Sam, the Falcon, who is now the new Captain America. It could have been him, but a lot of people said he was in jail at that point. So it could have been Hydra messing with people, or I don't know. I really don't know. Unless it's somehow Captain Carter, you know, like multiverse type stuff. I don't really know that answer, honestly. General Ross looked really skinny in this movie, which I still call him General Ross. He's like Senator Ross now, but General Ross sounds a lot cooler. General Ross was in it, the senator who was trying to hunt down Black Widow and find her and put her in jail. He is looking decrepit. Like, he is old looking. I don't know if that's like the actor that's the problem with that, but honestly, I believe this because it showed up with the end. Whenever Val showed up at the very end at the Tombstone cemetery scene where Florence Pugh, what's her character's name? Yelena, is that her name? I think Black Widow's sister, the blonde-haired one. Yelena was crying, and then Val showed up, which is Julia Louis-Dreyfus from Seinfeld. That's all I can think of whenever I see her is Seinfeld. That is her, ain't it? Yeah, that's her. And she's like the next bad guy type person in the Marvel Universe, but she's not like a Thanos level threat, but she's trying to put together a team to fight the Avengers. And because she was in Falcon and Winter Soldier, and she was recruiting the U.S. agent, and now she's recruiting Yelena, and she gave her a picture of Hawkeye showing that he's the one who killed Black Widow, which technically, I mean, he kind of was because of the Soul Stone when Avengers Endgame. But that's what's going to happen in the Hawkeye show. Is she going to try to hunt him down? And so it's going to be like Yelena and U.S. Agent are going to be in a team with other people. And the reason I talked about General Ross being sick is that in the comic books, General Ross got really sick and ended up taking something that they gave the Hulk. And General Ross ends up turning into the Red Hulk. And I think that's what they need to do, because Val is most likely forming the Thunderbolts, a team in comic book history that ended up fighting the Avengers and other people as well. And U.S. Agent Yelena, which I don't know who her character, that's her character's name, but I don't know what like her hero name is going to be, you know. U.S. Agent, Red Hulk, Yelena, Abomination's in Shang-Chi, so they can throw in Abomination as well. That's why I think the Thunderbolts are definitely forming, because she's trying to put together this team, so she's basically being like an evil Nick Fury, kind of. And Nick Fury probably definitely knows who she is. So, yeah, that's why I think is going to happen, because of the ending that they left us on right there, is that the Thunderbolts are definitely going to be a team. Before long, it's going to happen. So, yeah, it was just a good movie. There's not really much you could say about it because she's dead. Like, the movie ended with her leaving on that plane to go get... That's the plane that they broke out Captain America, and that's the same plane they showed up whenever they got... whenever Bearded Cap saved the Scarlet Witch and Vision in Infinity War. So she ended up going to like the prison that's like underwater out in the middle of the ocean in a Civil War. That's where she went to break them out. And then the end credit scene was Yelena in the cemetery. So not much to talk about really with it, because that's just it. Like, it's just leading up to the next future Marvel movies and shows. That we got the Thunderbolts, which will definitely be an evil team, and we really haven't had much of a evil team, that can come against the Avengers. But it's going to be interesting to see what actually happens. I think the Thunderbolts will be pretty good, especially if they get General Ross turned into the Red Hulk. Because, I mean, She-Hulk is a series that'll be premiering next year, and you have She-Hulk, we already have the Hulk, you got Abomination, and then if we have Red Hulk, like, come on. We got all the different Hulk characters, which will be great to see if, like, She-Hulk teams up with the Hulk, and now they got to fight Red Hulk and Abomination. So, it'll be interesting to see what actually happens through there. But, yeah, that's all I can say about Black Widow. Good movie. If you haven't seen it, you should check it out. But, I mean, if you haven't seen it, you aren't listening to the review anyway. So, and Red Guardian was my favorite character in the movie, by the way, because he was funny. And so, yeah. So, now to Loki. Now, where can I start with this show? I mean, Loki, without a doubt, is my favorite Disney Plus Marvel series. And, like, that's not even just me saying because of what happened in the show, I just enjoyed that movie a whole lot more than the others. And that's nothing against... The Falcon and Winter Soldier was great, WandaVision was great, and Loki's amazing. They're all three shows that are in the Marvel Universe, but they're three different shows. Like, they're different genres and different stories and not even the same characters, about different things. But without a doubt, between those three, Loki's my favorite, honestly. I've said this before, and it is. So, with all that, I think, talking about the characters, Sylvie, which was the female version of Loki, but her name's Sylvie, she was amazing. I loved her character. Of course, I loved Loki throughout that show. He was amazing. He's always been a good character throughout the entirety of Marvel. But for him to be here for around 10 or more years to stay as a character, and and I was going to say, even though he hasn't died, which he's died many times. He's died like 4 or 5 times at this point. And Sylvie was just amazing. The acting was amazing in this show. And to talk about the end, Jonathan Majors, the actor who played Kang, or He Who Remains, he was awesome. I loved that character. I loved his acting, because for a character that was never in this show at all, to show up in the season finale for about 30 minutes, and even them, like Tom Hiddleston, who plays Loki, said that they were blown away by the acting that Jonathan Majors did, because it was like I just said, he was there. He wasn't even there the entire show, for any of the filming. He was there for like the last episode, which was like 40-something minutes, but he was only in like around 30 minutes of that show. And it was centered around him, and I just loved it. Like, I expected, like, I'm not going to say, I knew it was Kang all along. Like, I'm not saying that. He was one of my guesses. Like, I had, like, a couple guesses. Like, a lot of them were, like, it could be the One Above All, which is a character in Marvel who's, like, very powerful. Doctor Doom. It could have been him. A lot of people thought it would have been another Loki was in charge all along. But they did the right move by introducing Kang, because we need somebody to fill that hole that Thanos isn't there anymore, because Thanos is dead. So we need something, a big bad guy, to take his place, because like if you don't have a Thanos, you always need a Thanos level character. Or what are you doing? Like what's the movie or show going to be about if you don't have that level of a character show up? Like, you can have a different villain for every movie, and you can have a villain that lasts throughout one whole season of a show. But how good is it when you're constantly changing villains every movie or every show? Like, yeah, they have different one-time villains and one-time villains for a movie or for a show, but the way Thanos worked is that he could show up in any of the movies. That's the way he worked. Like, he was in a lot of the end credit scenes throughout like 5 or 6 years. And then when he actually showed up, it was like, it was built up to that moment that we all saw in Infinity War and Endgame. So, but yeah, Jonathan Majors did very well as Kang. I think it's going to be, I already like Kang as a villain already. They said apparently this show was supposed to be 12 episodes, one long season, but COVID split it into 2 seasons, so now it was 6 episodes in the first season, 6 episodes in the second season, which was officially announced that season 2 of Loki will be premiering sometime next year. And yeah, also found out this: if you play the season finale of Loki and the season finale of WandaVision, if you start them at the exact same time, whenever Scarlet Witch, or whenever Wanda became the Scarlet Witch in the final battle at the end, was the exact same moment that Kang looked over his shoulder and looked outside at the timeline and said, I don't know what's going to happen from here on out. He didn't say those exact words, but you get what I'm saying. That's whenever she became the Scarlet Witch, he said, the time hasn't been written from here on. And he was like, I don't know what's going to happen. Because he knew, because he's a time traveler. If you know about the comic books and know about the character who is Kang the Conqueror, he's originally from the year like 3000, or from the 30th century is where he's from. And he found out time travel, came back, and like did a round, and then it's all the variants of himself that are trying to take over. And like this version, the He Who Remains version, is like the nicer version, and quite possibly one of the most powerful versions of Kang. But the actual Kang the Conqueror is the most evil version of Kang, and that's who the villain is, the next big bad villain is, that's taking Thanos' place. And yeah, whenever you play those 2 finales at the exact same time, it coincides with each other. So, like I said, season 2 will be happening next year, and it all coincides because at the very end you see there was a main timeline that was just one big circle that was going around the house that he was in, or that little castle thing, and it's split off into branches like a tree. And that's what the branches out of the timeline are. And that's what If is. What If is canon. They announced that What If is canon because of the multiverse. Like all these different shows that we're going to watch with What If, any of these characters could be brought to our current MCU reality because of the multiverse. That's just, it's wild. Like Captain Carter could be brought in to join the Avengers, Or We could have Steve Rogers back alive, but it's skinny Steve Rogers from like World War II. So, yeah, like the other timelines and What If it's gonna, like, that show itself is gonna be a fun show, but I can't wait to see what actually happens with the future that this Loki series is already set up for the MCU. And to end all of it off with the Loki talk is that this is definitely setting up, and it's already been set up, that this is setting up the next Spider-Man movie in December and Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, which that movie is already confirmed. Doctor Strange is in it, and Wanda, Scarlet Witch, is in it. And they're making it into like a horror movie. And you can tell, like, it could definitely work as a horror movie because of the multiverse. And so with all of that, now Loki could be confirmed and be in the movie. And it would be so awesome to see Doctor Strange, Scarlet Witch, and Loki all together. Because Loki is now officially a hero recognized by Marvel. The main version of Loki, that is. So, with that, also to talk about Spider-Man a little bit, we're almost 4 months away from this movie premiering, and we haven't got a trailer yet. There's nothing. We know it's called Spider-Man No Way Home. We know it premieres December the 17th. That's it. Like, that's all we know. Like, what now? Like, what am I supposed to do? Like, honestly... And they've talked about this. I've seen people talk about this. What if they don't release a trailer? Because Spider-Man has been trending on Twitter like different weeks because of there not being a trailer. And like that's great for them. You know, like it could definitely work for them. So I don't know. I definitely think that it will. There could be a trailer, but it would be released like very close to when the movie comes out. But I'm just so confused about it. So yeah. With all that being said, I think that's gonna do it for the Loki review. Like I said, it's my favorite MCU show so far. And I can't wait for season 2 and to see what happens with Kang being the new villain. So, and talk about more of all that in the next coming weeks, of course, as well. So, with all that being said, I am going to go ahead and review 2 pieces of candy. Yeah, I actually have a candy review. Let me go ahead and get this set up around here. So, this candy is... I don't even know where this came from, honestly. Excuse me. This is extra hot salted sriracha milk chocolate. So it's spicy chocolate, basically. I'm going to open it. You can hear me open it right now. Oh, it's in a gold package. Okay. Little ASMR for you. Okay, it's in like little cube things. I don't know if this is gonna be good. Last time I had hot chocolate was not a hot chocolate to drink, but like spicy chocolate was the Tabasco spicy chocolate, which was dark chocolate. I didn't like that. I have a milk chocolate right here, and then I actually have a second piece of candy, which is the same thing but dark chocolate. So if you hear me spit it out, I apologize if you're uncomfortable listening to that. But I'm gonna try and chew it up as best as I can. I don't know how hot this is going to be, though. So, I mean, it looks like normal chocolate. And you can also see pictures of these candies in the wrappers, of course, on the Toddcast official Instagram, which is at _Toddcast_. And we're only on the Instagram. So, I'm getting chocolate all over my fingers right now. So, what is this? Extra hot salted sriracha milk chocolate. Let's go ahead and give it a try. Let's take a bite. I had cavities filled yesterday, honestly. Oh! Jesus Christ. Oh! Oh, that's hot.
Oh, it's good though. The milk chocolate tastes good. Oh, I need water. Oh my gosh. Oh, that's hot. Sorry. Woo! Man, Lord have mercy. Oh gosh. Okay. Alright. Oh god, it's hot. Oh, I need like a paper towel. Give me one of these. Let's put that on there. Oh, my mouth is on fire. Jesus, that's hot. I'm putting you back in the package. Save you for later. No. But gosh, that's hot. Like, that's a lot hotter than I thought. That's a lot hotter than I thought it was gonna be. I mean, honestly, oh, jeez. I don't know what to grade it because it's very much burning the roof of my mouth. Oh, deep breaths. I'm gonna go ahead and give the normal milk chocolate. I gotta do another one of these. I'm gonna give the normal milk chocolate. I'm gonna give it a 56 because I like milk chocolate. I like milk chocolate more than I like dark chocolate, but not when it's pumped full of whatever the heck that was. Good Lord. I'll put that over there. So, yeah. So that was milk chocolate. Now I have the same thing, but it's dark chocolate. This was a mistake. Why can't I ever have, like, water? Why can't I do a water review, huh? What is the best brand of water? Smart Water, Great Value, or McDonald's? No, I doubt McDonald's. McDonald's probably has their own water. I'll just chew on some Sonic Ice the entire time. Okay. I'm not prepared for this after that. I don't even like dark chocolate. It's a lot darker than, which, if you want to look, well, you can't look at it, but if you want to know what it looks like, you open it up, and it's just basically like a bar, but it's got the indentions for you to, like, break it off into squares, kind of like Hershey's, you know, but it's, like, thicker pieces than Hershey's. All right, let's put the package back over there. Geez, that's how many calories are in this thing? Dark chocolate is healthier for you. I do know that. One square has 191 servings. That's because it's just pure chocolate. And it's 208 calories per square for the milk chocolate. So, man, I should have had some ice cream or something. Or some bread. You know? Oh, okay. Gonna make my nose run. Oh, I got chocolate all on my fingers now. So, spicy milk chocolate got a 56. Spicy dark chocolate, let's go ahead and give it a try. Let's take a little bite. Tastes like dark chocolate. Oh, here comes the heat. Okay. Oh, Lord. Okay, I only took a little bite that time. Like, you know, they're little squares, like about the size of like a quarter. I bit half of the square on the milk chocolate, and that's what happened. And I bit literally just the corner off of the dark chocolate, and it's still hot. Like, you can't eat the entire thing. Like, I feel like I would die if I ate the entire thing, you know? So, deep breaths. Okay, so dark chocolate, you're rated less than milk chocolate. One, I don't like dark chocolate. I'm going to give you a 48, honestly, because I just don't like dark chocolate. If you like dark chocolate, you'll probably like it, but because it's very dark chocolate heavy, but it's also hot as all get out. Like, it's the pits of the devil's anus is burning my mouth right now. So Spicy milk chocolate gets a 56, and spicy dark chocolate gets a solid 48. So, and yes, I didn't do Publix questions this week because I knew the review was going to be long. So just saying that. So just saving all of y'all's questions until in 2 weeks. So yeah, real quick before this episode ends, I want to just go ahead and tell all y'all I am recording this on a professional microphone. If you couldn't tell why it sounds a little different, or you can hear like literally everything in front of me, is because I'm recording this on a Blue Yeti microphone. Yes, I got this, and it's actually still connected to my phone right now. That way I'm able to record through the microphone, and it'll send it to my phone. Very nice. I like it. It makes me feel like a professional because I'm actually wearing headphones right now while I'm recording, like they do on those like podcasters. A lot of them normally do, like on Joe Rogan, But I'm able to hear myself through the headphones and see how loud it is. That way, if I know I'm too close or not. So I'm starting to burp from the hotness of that chocolate. So yeah, I'm just recording on a new microphone. I'm going to definitely be using it a lot more, and I know it probably sounds a little clearer, so hopefully it'll sound better, and it'll be good, for the many, many weeks to come. So, with all that being said, I think this is going to be the end of this episode. Thank you for listening. As always, please rate and subscribe, and if you're listening on YouTube, please like, comment, and subscribe, and make sure you subscribe and click on that bell to get notified when new videos are uploaded. And make sure you follow the Toddcast on Instagram, only on Instagram, at @the_Toddcast_ for updates and to see pictures of the food or drinks that I review as well. And make sure you tell your friends and your family to give it a listen. Tell anybody you know. And thank all of you once again for listening to this episode. And if you want to know what's going to happen next week, well, you're just going to have to tune in to find out. Only on the Toddcast.